And I think I'm going to guess around 6, 7 hours. That should give me plenty of time to print it out. And then I'll get back to you and I'll show you how the print went.
Sounds good. We'll see you back here when you get done.
All right, Chris, I'll talk to you in a little bit.
Thanks.
Okay, so we've got our STL files from Chris over at Practical Printing. Let's head over to Simplify 3D and get these models sliced, and then we'll send them over to the gMax 1.5 XT Plus for printing. Okay, so here we are in Simplify 3D version 4.0, and I've dropped the model down on the print bed and I've duplicated it. And if you need to duplicate a part, if you're on the Mac, it's Command D, or on the PC, Control D, and you can duplicate your part. And I've rotated these and arranged them so I think they fit the best with my gMax print quality, because I do have a little bit of a low spot right here because I have been printing for over 230 days, pretty much in the same spot on the printer. And when I do my wet sanding, I have created just a skosh of a low spot here, so I'm trying to avoid that. So I've positioned the two spool holder pieces so to best optimize my print area on my 16-inch by 16-inch build plate for the gMax. So let's check out my process settings. Under the extruder settings, you can see I have my retraction settings set up here, and we haven't gone over my Simplify 3D settings in quite some time here on the Print 3D channel, and I have done a little bit of tuning. As you can see, my extrusion multiplier is 1.01, and I've set my manual extrusion width to 0.5 to match my nozzle diameter, and my retraction settings are what you see here. Under layer height for this print, we're doing a 0.2 millimeter layer height with 3 top layers, 3 bottom layers, and 3 perimeters. We're also running out our first layer width at 110% just to make sure we get a really good first layer. And we're running out our first layer speed at 70% of the original speed, which is 55 millimeters per second. We've also chosen our start point at a specific location because I find that the gMax and 3D printing in general, in my opinion, is better if you can control the way it prints. So I'm choosing my start point to be in the back corner of the print bed, as far back in the corner as I can. That way it prints towards me on its very first layer, and it's a lot easier to monitor. And we'll talk about that after we slice the model. Under skirt and brim, we are using a skirt at 10 millimeters from the object at 8 outlines. And under Chris's suggestion, we are using 20% infill. And you can see I have a 40% overlap just to make sure it overlaps nicely over to the perimeters. And my infill extrusion width is set to 120%. Now, this is one of the new features in Simplify 3D version 4.0, and that's the ability to change the angles on not only your internal, but your external infill. And as you can see, I've got 0, 90, and 45 set up. Under support, we're not generating any support material. Under temperature, this is Matterhacker's Pro PLA, and their suggested temperature is 205 degrees plus or minus 15 degrees. So I have my 2-stage temperature system set up at 210 on the first layer and 207 on the second layer. Under the cooling system tab, I have a 3-stage system set up where I start with 0 fan just to make sure I get hot sticky plastic, and then on the 4th layer we bump it up to 50%, and then on the 6th layer we crank up the fan speed to 100%. And I do have some fan overrides here, so if my layer print time is below 9 seconds, it's going to max out the fan speed, which it's already at. So this is really irrelevant, but I do have it still checked. Under G-code, there are no changes. Under scripts, this is set up for the gMax. Under speeds, my default printing speed is 55 millimeters per second. And I think that's a pretty safe speed considering the size of the print and the fact that it's basic geometry. We're not printing a detailed model. My outline under speed. Now this is the speed that the outer perimeter actually prints at. This is your final perimeter. This is what's going to give your detail and retain the detail on your prints. And I have mine set to 60% of 55 millimeters. And of course my infill is always set to 80% because you really don't have to print that slow, but it's a good idea to slow it down just a little bit if you're doing an involved infill. And it's doing a lot of extruder moves and changing positions. We're not using any of the newer settings within Simplify 3D version 4.0. We don't have any bridges, so I'm not enacting any of these new bridge settings. And I'm not using any of the thin wall behavior settings like the gap fill. I just need a standard print. So if I hit OK here and I hit prepare to print, we'll see how it slices. And here's our finished slice model, and it says it's going to take 6 hours and 1 minute, so that was a pretty good guess, about 6 hours. And it's going to use 122 grams of material at a material cost of approximately $2.69, but that's not accurate because I haven't entered the cost for MatterHackers Pro PLA. I believe I still have this at default of some budget line filament, so I don't really pay any attention to material costs there. But either way, here is our sliced model, and as you can see, it is really taking advantage of the giant gMax print bed, and I am going to avoid that little area in the center there. And as you can see, if I dial this back, there's our 20% infill, which is really going to give it some strength, and of course our top layers. Now, I was talking about the 0, 90, 45 degree angle and starting my first layer by having my start position in the back. And if I turn on a few of these little settings here and we switch this to line and we ramp this up a little bit, you can see that the print will start from the top. See, it starts doing its infill as far back as it can, and it's going to move towards me, towards the front of the build plate. And it's a lot easier to watch your first layer go down when it does that. Now again, it's going to come around the back side, but when it prints the further piece, it is going to start in the back. You can see it starts in the back and it moves its way around. Now, if you have a big, small, flat piece that you're running on your printer, it's always a good idea to kind of keep an eye on that first layer. And the easiest way to do that is have the extruder come towards you so you can see the edge of the filament lay down. So it's a good idea to set your start point at a specific area if that's something you really want to monitor. But either way, here's our sliced model, and let's go ahead and save out the G code and send this over to the gMax for printing. Yo, Chris, you still there, man? I'm all done printing.
Yeah, hey.
Yep, I'm all done. Everything's done off the gMax, and the parts look phenomenal.
Dude.
Yeah, these guys turned out good. This MatterHackers Jet Gray, this is some of my favorite filament that they make. It almost has kind of a brushed metal kind of look to it. Turned out really good.
That looks really nice. How does it fit on the PVC for you?
Let me grab I went ahead and cut the pieces down. I did 5-inch lengths, and I know you recommended, I think, like 4 3/4, about 4 1/2. I just did 5-inch because, well, I figured my cuts would be kind of sloppy anyway. So, but it all fits. It all fits. I mean, these fit perfectly. That redesign, I'm not having to push on at all. They just slide right on.
Good. Yeah, perfect. There's no problem with going a little bit longer because sometimes you get the little bit wider rolls of filament, but I mean, as long as it's not sagging and stuff, and you know, if you went to a really wide, a foot or so.
But yeah,
very nice.
They're good, and we've got our little thing here. Let me grab a roll of filament. I got a roll a little bit left on here. Drop this guy in the middle. There we go.
All right. Well, hopefully that solves your problem with the Tevo there.
Yeah, this is definitely going to solve the problem with the Tevo, and we won't have to use that clamp on the side of the table anymore. And this will give us a little bit of room here too, because you know we've got some smaller rolls and some bigger rolls. And if I ever want to put like a 5-pound roll on here, you know, the bigger giant rolls on here, I can always just cut another couple lengths of PVC and take it apart and make it bigger. So expandable design, very nicely done, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And you could probably even scale the print up a couple 100% on the gMax if you actually needed to print it bigger and stronger.
Yeah, I was thinking if I wanted to really go big, I just print one piece at a time. These fit perfectly on the gMax. There was no problems at all printing these. And perfect. I did the exact recommendation. We did 3 top layers, 3 bottom layers, 20% infill, and 3 perimeters, and no problem whatsoever. It printed out perfectly on pretty much the first try. I did have one little snafu because I haven't printed out to the edge of the gMax before, so took a one try to get it going, but it's going now, and then I really like it. This is a very cool design, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm glad it's going to work for you.
Yeah, and definitely thank the JAT.MN Dustin for doing that test print because that solved us having a little bit of problems on my end after it was printed. So doing the iterations with him really helped out a lot. So we definitely give him some props.
Yep, definitely. I'll make sure he knows.
All right, my friend. Well, thanks again for putting together a really cool spool holder. And let's make sure we post this up on Thingiverse and some of those STL sites so people can download this.
You know what? Actually, I'll put it up on Repables.
Oh, awesome. That's a good site.
Yeah, it's a little bit less crowded and a little less promoted than Thingiverse. So
perfect. That'll be great. And I'll once we get this all wrapped up, I'll put the link in the description so people can download it, and then we'll be all good to go here. I think this is really cool.
Sounds good.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you again, and maybe we'll work on another project again.
Sounds good. Aloha.
All right, my friend. Have a good day.